What's up everyone? We have the final trailer for Predator Badlands. So let's check it out and see what new stuff is in this trailer. So Dek just landed on the planet called Jenna. You can see a change in his facial expression. He's actually sad right here. Then he gets angry, realizing he lost his brother, but he has to move on with his mission. From what we know about the story so far, Najor, the father, locates Quay and Dek. He commands Quay to eliminate the runt of the litter, which is Dek, because he considers Dek very small and weak, he's not worthy, but then Quay would refuse to eliminate his little brother because he has this attachment towards him. So then a fight breaks out between Quay, the older brother, and the father, Najor. And then later on, Quay dies, but Dek escapes.
Welcome to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
This place looks like the one where Quay fought against Najor, or is it Jenna? That looks like an octopus or a squid, but based on a land. This looks like an elephant with a set of teeth on the end of its nose, and those plates on the side, they close down and kind of wrap around it and form a shield. So when it closes, it kind of protects the inner tongue area, but the top part of this bony shield area could be used as a weapon. But I think maybe the eyes can still see past this area, like on the side. But yeah, interesting.
Where everything is trying to kill you.
So Dek ends up in an area with these plants that explode, and upon exploding, they shoot out these giant spikes or needles. We saw this creature before, like in one of the trailers, but Thia takes out one of them, and she ends up right over Dek's body.
I need a hand.
So that's the part when they meet, and I think this is when Thia gives him a deal. I think she tells him, if you bring my upper torso to where my lower body part is, then I can repair myself, but at the same time, I can show you where that big callous creature is, so you can hunt it down.
You're here to prove yourself.
Oh, check this out. We actually get to see Dek jumping from tree to tree. Nice. Oh, that's the battle between Quay, the older brother, and father Najor. And you can see Dek in the background, which I think leads into this scene from the trailer a long time ago where this pred is on the floor and one arm is cut off. You can see the plasma caster on Najor's shoulder on the left side is sparking already, so maybe it was damaged already at some time.
Hunting something that can't be killed.
So this scene is extended and this beast is muscular. Damn, it is huge compared to Dek. How is he going to beat this thing? I think this takes place in the beginning of the movie, where he watches his brother Quay get defeated by his father Najor. He runs back, trying to help him, but this shield goes up and he can't break through. You can see by the look of his face, he knows something bad happened to his brother. You can see it right there in his eyes. He's really sad. He wants to help him, but he's blocked off. He can't. He watches his brother die right in front of him.
We might not be alone in this hunt.
When she says we might not be alone on this hunt, she's talking about her twin sister Tessa, who controls an army of military synths, and they're pretty much going after the same beast for their own reason. I also remember like an early synopsis of the story between the two sisters was they were saying that Tessa is more focused on her goals and she won't let anyone get in her way, not even her twin sister. So I think there's going to be a scene where Thia kind of interferes with Tessa's mission and maybe stops her or almost stops her from completing her mission, and they kind of have like a duel or something, but we'll see. I think this is the scene between Dek and his older brother Quay early in the story, where they're possibly just maybe sparring or practicing, or maybe Quay already had orders from his father to eliminate his younger brother, Deck. But in the end, he changed his mind, then his father shows up and takes out Quay. So in this part, I think you hear someone say die as the creature jumps on them. That's going to be a cool scene. And I think the pilot is Thia based on the hairstyle, as you can see right there on the bottom. So I think Thia is the one inside this giant mech suit fighting this callous creature. The size of that creature reminds me of the ones that were in the AVP Extinction video game. They said this film takes heavy inspiration from the comic books, but one thing I noticed is that one of his mandibles is broken off, similar to Broken Tusk from the comic books. Oh, there's a closer look at this creature. So when those plates open up, you can see the eyes. I think during this scene, Deck planted his sword in the ground, and that creature is charging forward but doesn't see it, then kind of cuts itself in half. Or maybe it's another weapon we haven't seen yet. Yes. And there is a closer look at Najor's mask. This is Deck's father. Pretty cool design. Not sure what those things are on the front of the mouthpiece though. Yeah, and the Preds are speaking in their own special language made for this film. So this is the part where I think Quay is explaining this unkillable beast to his brother Deck. And later on you see an image that's a bit better to see of the creature in this hologram form. And there is Bud, finally showing up in the trailer. We saw him as a figure at the San Diego Comic-Con event, but there he is in the trailer. This scene of Deck using a human firearm was used in a previous trailer. The idea is not new because it's been done before in comic books, in video games, and on film. Oh, I think this is a shield that is almost similar to the one that Farrell had in Prey, but this one is more energy based, whereas Farrell had like a shield that kind of unfolds. You'll also notice there is a laser targeting this predator, and the scene is outside of a ship. So this takes place at the very beginning when the father finds him. And I think he uses the plasma caster against that pred who has the shield up. And then maybe later on, that plasma caster on his shoulder gets damaged, like I mentioned before. Based on the background here, this might be at the beginning of the story when I think this could be Deck fighting his own father based on the height difference. Then Deck gets pulled into the ship by this red cable or red wire here, and Quay would step in to fight against Najor to buy some time for his little brother to escape. So this is a hologram image of the callous creature, and this is part of the scene we saw earlier, where he's talking to his brother Quay. And this is the part when I guess they decide this is going to be Deck's mission to go and hunt this creature. Here we see Deck charging the callous creature as he's holding a shield, and it has the Weyland-Yutani logo on it. There's also vehicles in this area that belong to Weyland-Yutani. So I think what he did is he took a door off a vehicle and used that as a shield. He cuts him from the upper chest down to the tail area, and do his guts go flying out onto the ground, or is that only a scratch to the callus? Is that really how he beats the creature, or does it continue afterwards? Wow. Anyways, that's a pretty cool trailer. What do you think? Tell me in the comments, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.
Yautja,